Airport Road on a weird weather for October 28th night here in the Lehigh Valley. It's actually warm out here. I mean by warm, it feels like low 70s. And a lot of bands of showers coming through, everything from a light drizzle to heavy downpour. And I just walked back from Shanesville Road and Westgate Mall, so I got caught in a few of them. But anyway, right to the point. This is an editorial about politics in general from a covering it from the magazine owner's standpoint, but also from the standpoint of someone who worked behind the scenes and helped out behind the scenes. I'm not going to tell you where. If you know where, great. If you don't, not saying. Not happening. But politics from and I'm also a registered voter, by the way, in the city of Allentown and Lehigh County. A mental note, focus on traffic more than the article. I swear, it's like the 30th time that it would have been really, I'm saying this, it would be really cool to see me to actually get hit while I'm doing this article. I mean, the effect on it would have just been, I mean, it would have been a cool effect. It would have sucked to have been me and the driver, but for you, the viewer, it would have been something really different that I haven't done yet. But anyway, no, on a serious note on that front, if you're walking or driving, please always pay attention to pedestrians and traffic, because, you know, I joke around about that, but you don't want to get into an accident or hit or kill somebody. Or if you're walking, you don't want to be the cause of a driver trying to avoid you and swerve off the road and, you know, or into another vehicle. So please, both sides of it, be safe, be smart. Anyway, and I'm still an extreme cynic of politics and politicians. You know, even from multiple sides of it, voter, listening to the politicians, covering the events through the magazine, interviewing a few local politicians, and also working behind the scenes. I am an extreme cynic still. It takes a lot to convince me. It takes a lot to get me, hell of a lot to get me to say, yeah, I back one a politician. It takes even more for me to say, okay, the magazine backs you. Okay? But in case you're wondering, shopping center where Redner's, Family Dollar, etc. is on Airport Road. Google it. Google Bing it. Anyway, I'll tell you what. You know, and I hear this so many times, and it's true. People will pay attention to the presidential debates like crazy. People will pay attention to their Congress people like crazy. But when it comes down to local level, they're just like, okay, whatever. Well, I got news for you. I'll be lucky if I vote for president next year, because that is the odds of your vote actually counting and the odds of your voice actually being heard by that person, very slim. Number one. Number two, even if your vote does matter, if it's a very close race, and trust me, Electoral College has overturned the popular vote, look up the history. But anyway, you know, president has to get it through Congress, Congress has to get it through president, each member of Congress has to get their ideas by everyone else, etc., etc., etc. But on the local level is where it really matters. On your local level, whether you're the smallest one-street town in the country with a borough council, or a large major city like Philadelphia, New York, etc., etc., etc. The local, and I'd even go as far to a point as say the state level, is where things really matter. Because these are people that, if you have a concern, legitimate, if you have a legitimate question, if you think something's really, pardon the term, completely and totally fucked, and you have, you know, and you want to talk to them, the local, and even to an extent the state level, you're more likely to get in contact with these people directly. You can, on your local level, you can go to your borough, town, city council meetings and actually have your voice heard. Whether or not the politicians pay attention, depends on how you present yourself. Number one, I've seen, and I'm not going to mention any names, but in Allentown, I've seen a couple people that are nothing but point blank circus sideshows and bad comedy, a bad comedic break in the city council meeting. Okay, but I've seen some people that walk up there, they're very professional, they get right to the point. Hey, look, here's what's going on, here's what's messed up, we're pointing this out to you, could you please do something? Very respectful. So the way you present it goes a long way. But these people, especially on your local level, these are people that, I mean, take for example here in Allentown, 2 of the city council candidates that myself and the magazine back, and trust me, they have earned the backing of both myself and the Valley and Beyond. Candida Alpha and Jeff Glazier. They're local business owners. Candida owns a bar. I think it's like 12th and Liberty or something. Look up Candida's bar. Again, Google Bing it. Glazier Furniture, which I've walked past this place hundreds of times. Actually, I had to use Google Maps to find it. It's when I was walked past it, didn't even realize it. But anyway, it's right there on Hamilton Street between Front and Second. All right, these are local business owners. I walked into Glazier Furniture, and I talked to the councilman, just to make sure, get a better feel for him and make sure I was backing the right person, what my instincts were telling me. And you know what? So yeah, on the local level, that's what really counts. On your state level, you can, it's a lot easier on the state level for your representatives to make the time, because they're not going hundreds of miles to 1,000 miles, a few thousand miles away to Washington, D.C. Okay? And trust me, I know you're cynical. A lot of people have given up and said, screw it, it doesn't matter. But on these 2 levels, it really does. Your congressional level, yes, it matters. Even on the presidential level, in some strange, screwed up way, it does. All right? But on your local levels, in your state level, that's where it matters. It really counts. And no matter what you see, myself, my magazine, the media, the party committee, the parties, the various organizations backing people, you know what? It's ultimately up to us, the individual voter, to learn about the candidates. It's up to us. I know a lot of people have families, they have their jobs, it's kids, etc. But it's up to us to go online, if nothing else, go online and find out about the candidates, okay? It's up to us to make the informed decisions based on what we feel, who we feel are the best people qualified for the job, because it's all it is. These are people that are just asking us, hey, look, here's my application, here's my resume, I would like this job. That's what it boils down to. So it is up to the individual voter to say yes or no. Okay, the candidate you might want to win may not have won in the election, but that doesn't mean, oh, screw it, I give up. They didn't win, oh well. No, you have to be able to. It's a two-sided street. The politicians, especially again, local and state level, have to be on the street level. They have to be walking around on occasion, taking public transportation on occasion, going to your mom and pop diners if you have them in your area, going to even the sports bars, not to get wasted, but to listen. And even if people don't know you, people don't know them, eventually just start up a conversation with someone. Don't tell people who you are. Start a regular conversation. But the other side of it is, we have to be willing to work with the people that are in office. Okay, we have to be willing to say, all right, you're not, if the candidate that we voted for didn't win, the ones that did, to say, hey, look, you're still held accountable to me, and I may not like you for whatever reason, but I want to work with you to make our area, to make our borough, town, city, and state a better place for everyone, from the homeless people to the children, to the elderly, to the rich, to the people out there busting their asses at the McDonald's and low-paying jobs. It's up to us to work with our politicians to make everything from our smallest town all the way up to our country a better place to live and a better place for years, down the road in the future. We can't change the past, people. Best we can do, though, is try to make a difference in the future. So please, I know on your local side, no matter where you live in the United States, it's local election time. Please, I know 5 days, time's up for the candidates. Whatever they do now, it pretty much don't matter, with the exception of a small group of people. No matter what party you are, I'm a registered independent, the ultimate evil in campaigns for candidates. I'll fully admit it. And yes, I'm joking, but I'm a registered independent. And one last thing I have to say: don't vote for just your party. Look at all the candidates in every election. Don't just say, well, I'm a Democrat and I'm just, okay, I just vote straight Democrat, done with it. Learn about the different candidates. It's hard to learn about all of them, especially when you get up to your state and congressional level. It's hard to actually meet them, but try your best to learn about them, about your independent candidates, your Republicans, your Democrats. Try your best to learn about everyone and make the informed decision based on the person, not the political affiliation. So take care, everybody. Stay safe in the night, and always, sorry for being so long-winded. I just really wanted to get my point across. How important things are, how important elections have actually become. Over the years, they've become, in today's world, I believe they're a lot more important than they were in the past years, decades. Things are getting more and more important now on every level. To everybody out there, thanks for the support. I know you hear me say this all the time, but it's only because it's from the heart. You have no idea what it means to me and how many times it's kept me going, and the difference you made in my life. Stay safe in the night, and always. You never know, if you're in Lehigh Valley, you might see me around. And by the way, if my voice tone is mellow, I'm exhausted. I'm exhausted. Take care. Have a good night. Stay safe. Later.